Hello and welcome to another video. Sixers get the victory last night against the LA Lakers. The main talking point has obviously been around LeBron James and the biggest loss in his career so far today. That's kind of been overshadowed by the fact that in Philadelphia, we like to talk about our own team. National media, that's all it's been about. But in Philadelphia, and us Philadelphia sports fans, we've been talking about Embiid. So I want to go with the latter. Embiid. People troll, people say all this stuff about him. They say he's a free throw merchant, all this load of rubbish, as I would say, or trash, as my friends across the pond would say. But even without that, he still gets quite a high score. We still win the game. It is what it is. He got a triple double. Now he got 30, 11, 11. The last several games he's played, he's been averaging close to a triple double or getting a triple double. His game has just evolved. Now, Maxey got a lot of love at the start of the season, but it's definitely due now for Embiid. In fact, he's been quite consistent these last several games with his stat line and helping the Sixers get more wins. So for me, I just want to talk a lot about Embiid in this video. Now, never during the years that I watched Embiid, from the process, the end of the process, going into our sort of playoff berths that we've had over the last few years, that I thought he'd become a player that would get several assists a game. I thought he definitely should have, with his double teams. And I thought he'd be a 3 or 4 assist guy. But he's averaging, like I say, double-double last night, high single digits, which is fantastic. While Maxey still gets double-doubles or close to double-doubles every game. So for me, that's just fantastic that we've got two players there that are stepping up their game. And again, it goes back to what I've said in previous videos. It's down to Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse has made Embiid the MVP. The MVP. Let me repeat that. The MVP. And even if people want to dispute and say he's not an MVP, he's still a top 3 player, top 4 player. He's the most dominant player in the NBA. The reason why he gets on the free throw line is because people foul him. And because basketball is the most softest sport in the world with contact. People say about soccer and diving, and there's a load of tosh really, like, you're allowed to tackle. In basketball, you're not allowed. It's contact sport. It's pretty much a contact sport. So don't change the rules. And he'll still get free throws. He'll still get points. So because people foul him. Yeah, he makes the most of it, and it's a bit annoying. It can be a bit annoying, don't get me wrong. Especially when you're watching late at night and you just want him to get up and play on because it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. But it is what it is. He does what he needs to do. He gets to the line and he makes them. But he is also getting the assists and the rebounds and things like that. So he is doing other stuff, not just, it's not like he's just dropping 30, 40 points, of which half of them are from free throws and not doing much else in the game. He is doing that. His turnovers have been less, certainly feel less anyway, over the last several games as well. So he's just been an all-round good player, and he's playing less minutes than he has done previously because, he's been sitting out. It's been 4 or 5 games from memory where he's had to play less than 33 minutes, which is ideal. You want it to be around the 30 to 32 minute mark is where we want it to be and be around most of the time. But Embiid's been it, and Embiid is the player that's going to be the centerpiece of this franchise going forward, and it's just building around him. And Maxey is that piece, and we still need to find that probably third piece still. Whether that comes as the season goes on, I don't know. I've talked about previously about getting another player in, but it doesn't. And I've said it before. We don't need an all-star. We just need a solid star that will come in and do a decent job for us. A more consistent version of Harris is probably where I'm going with it. I think last night's performance was fantastic by Embiid and Maxey. No doubts about it, and they'll be talked about. But the other person I want to shout out for last night is the fact that I would say one person, the role players. Now, Beverly, Pat Bev, fantastic game last night. It felt like he had more than 12 points, to be honest with you, because of the way he dropped the points, and Marcus Morris. But yeah, Marcus Morris and Pat Bev stepped up massively. Batum's been doing his thing and been doing really well as a start. But for me, Pat Bev and Morris just stepped up last night and showed what they're about. And I was so happy to see that. I think they're finally feeling more part of the team, part of the rotation, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes going forward with those guys. And I think they're really good pieces around Embiid because Morris will shoot threes, and so will Pat Bev if he's wide open, like he was left open last night. But also defensively, if we need to hold on to a lead, I trust having Pat Bev, Morris, Embiid, Batum, probably Melton on the floor. You know, if you're thinking you got to defend maybe a 4 or 5 point lead with seconds to go, I feel comfortable with those guys on the floor. So I think we've got everything there. We just maybe need a extra offensive spark that will give us the sort of maybe a deep three if he's left unmarked because Maxi and Embiid are being covered or whatever. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts. My thoughts are Embiid. That's my Embiid is just got me wowed. You know, he has just been these last several games been fantastic, and he has been overshadowed by Maxi. Don't get me wrong, but it's been deservedly so. Maxi's been one of our best players or our best player in a couple of games. So it was just that Embiid is now being more recognised widely from people because things go on social media and the stat line and things like that, and then people go, actually, yeah, he is doing a job. But we expect it from him because he's the MVP. But he has got better, and Embiid owes a lot to probably Nick Nurse's system because he's now going to be recognised more and more by the others that were like, well, Joker gets more assists, or Joker does this. But Embiid is the most dominant two-way player in the league. There's no one else that can come close to him other than Giannis. But Giannis isn't as good offensively as Embiid. Giannis can't shoot threes at the rate that Embiid can, or deep twos. Those jumps, he hasn't got that shooting finesse that Embiid has. So for me, that's why he edges it. However, getting to the rim, getting contact, Giannis is probably a little bit better. And defensively, he's just as strong. But no one can touch Embiid when Embiid wants to do. He can turn it on. He can go full strength, use his body frame, muscle, and get to the rim, or he can use his finesse and do it. And that's why a lot of people say he's like Hakeem because it was a similar sort of style. So, but yeah, Embiid, keep up the good work. Let me know what you guys think below. Am I overreacting? Am I thinking that Embiid is not playing that great? Am I overreacting? His stat line's kind of been inflated, or it's the opponents we're playing against because we're not playing necessarily great teams. I know some people think the Lakers are great, but they're probably just a 5th or 6th seed team in the West, I guess, at the moment, based on what I've seen. And I do see a lot because my fellow co-host on my other pod, on my proper podcast with the English, is a Lakers fan, and it was good fun having a bit of banter with him on socials last night. If you're watching this and you're not following me on Twitter, please do. Sam Oakley88 on Twitter, or Sam from England, and I'll pop up. Please like, subscribe, and share this video on any platform that you can. Go Sixers and go Birds, because the Birds got a great win the other night. Jalen Hurts touchdown in overtime. That game was mad. I woke up the family, didn't mean to. But yeah, what a block by Kelsey for that touchdown. Much needed after the penalties that we gave away when I thought the field goal wasn't going to go in. So it was a very interesting last 48 hours for us UK-based Philly sports fans. And it was good to see Jalen at the game last night. It was good to see the MVP of the NFL this year at the game, supporting the NBA MVP from last year and this year, Joel Embiid.